Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as the WWE in the year 2015, and we are booking the go home show to NXT. We can actually say that because this Saturday, usually NXT in real life or IRL hosts their special events like the NXT Takeovers on Wednesdays. Like, it usually takes the place of the event. And in the game, you are able to hold an event and a pay-per-view on the same shows, but I've never done that before. And Jesus, the wind is strong. I hope you guys don't hear the garage just flipping out in the back. Either way, I've never held a show and a pay-per-view on the same night, but from what I understand, some superstars can basically like splits the rosters or something. I don't know. I wasn't going to test it. I don't really care. I decided that we're going to hold it on Saturday because I think that makes a little sense. It's the day before the WWE pay-per-view, so why not? So yeah, we're hosting it this Saturday, so this is the go-home show to NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way. And that's all I really got to say. Let's go ahead and run this show. We have 4 pre-show matches to start off the night. In our first match, we have a 52D+. So this did worse than their first match, because their first match was like a C-something. About that, it's solid in reaction, but non-existent crowd heat. Apollo and Billington, which I still want to think of a better name for these guys. I haven't yet. If you guys have any suggestions for the tag team of Zach Billington, Zack Sabre Jr., and Apollo Crews, let me know. They defeated the All-Stars, the team of Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger, when Apollo Crews defeated Jordan with the standing shooting star press. Zach is improving in Rumble. Apollo is improving in performance. And out of curiosity, so negatives really, the one it hit the most was Ty Dillinger. But nothing really too serious that I can't fix. Everyone else, honestly, so Apollo's got star quality. Zach does not. Ty does not, but Jason Jordan does. That's interesting. Moving on, we then go to a 40D-. I'm going to take a drink real quick because I feel like I'm going to cough in a couple seconds. Hold on. Clear my throat a little bit. So we go to a 40D-. Solid in-ring action, non-existent crowd heat. Richie Steamboat defeating Bull Dempsey in 6 minutes and a minute, or not 6 minutes and a minute. 6 minutes and a second with just a roll-up. Just a quick roll-up. Interesting. Come on, Richie. You got to step it up. What's his finisher? Does he have a finisher? We'll have to check that out. So Richie's got star quality, all that good stuff. Bull Dempsey's got a good gimmick, surprisingly. A well-executed squash. Mwah. Low momentum, holding back, nothing too serious. We then go to a 46D, and about that had solid in-ring action, but not much weighing heat. The VOD Villains defeating Kalisto and Caprice Coleman, when Aiden English defeated Caprice Coleman with the director's cut. I know, a little bit of a weird team, but what can you do? Also, yeah, Kalisto was supposed to be distracted by Sin Cara. I'm not sure why the notes don't see it there, but you can see that the Road Agent notes have it there because also the storyline moved on. I've been wanting to get something with Kalisto on NXT, but everything else just kind of takes priority, and with only an hour, it's hard. So I figured, let's just kind of confirm this match for the pre-show. Do we not have any matches confirmed? Holy shit, let's confirm some of these matches now, shall we? So we know that we are going to be seeing, for the NXT Championship, Kevin Owens battling Finn Balor, not Finlay. Sir Nicholas Magnus and the king, or not the king of the ring, the prince of the ring, Sami Zayn. NXT Championship. We also know that the women, I know I should probably do this off camera, but I don't know, I feel like it kind of maybe gets you guys a little excited for the show. You get to see what's upcoming. So we know the women are going to be in action as Sasha Banks will defend her. Actually, no, we don't know this match yet. That's decided tonight. So what else do we know? Well, we do know that we're going to see Kalisto and Sin Cara now. So we can go ahead and book that in. Also, let's book an angle. And We'll do the... I'll have to do it a different time because I don't have an angle to do that for. So either way, let's just move on. We only have those 2 matches. So Aiden was off his game, unfortunately. But Simon Gotch is improving in performance, so there's that. And let's move on. And then our main event of the pre-show, we go to a 58 C-, and about that had solid in-ring action, but not much weighing heat. Samoa Joe defeating Lucky Cannon with the Muscle Buster. Not going to lie, Lucky. Wasn't expecting to get a 58 C-, but Samoa Joe definitely probably helped out there. He did switch to a megalomaniac gimmick. Apparently, it was too soon from his last one. Okay. And it got a 46 rating, so that is not too good. But Samoa Joe came out looking good. And Lucky Cannon may be a familiar name to some of you guys. He was a participant in one of the seasons of the horrible edition of NXT. WWE did release Lucky Cannon, and I know a lot of people actually didn't like Lucky, but I actually liked him a lot. I thought he had a lot of promise, had a good look, and he was a great heel. I think that's, back in the day with the old NXT things, that they never took heels into account. He definitely was the most over person with how many boos he was getting. So out of curiosity, Lucky charisma and high morale, so there is that. He's got a couple of negatives, though, so he's a work in progress, I guess. So we start off the night with just, the announcers kind of putting over what we'll see tonight pretty much. So tonight we're going to see Blake and Murphy's Indie Open Challenge pretty much, kind of like what we saw last week. We also know later on tonight that we will see Finn Balor take on Sir Nicholas Magnus in our main event. But coming up next, we already know it'll be Sasha Banks versus Bayley and Melissa Marie at NXT Takeover 4-Way, but we don't know her final opponent, as it'll be Lady James battling Becky Lynch, as Lynch is putting her title shot, or her title shot on the line, exactly. And that's next. But before we can get to that, we have a 48D+ angle to start off the night, I guess. The other ones kind of start off the night, but this starts off the night. Let's just go with that. 48D+, Lady James's music hits, and she makes her way down to the ring. The announcers put over her history as she's, Lady James, formerly known as Mickie James. She's a former WWE Women's Champion, battling the likes of Trish Stratus and Lita, Melina, Michelle McCool. She's a former WWE Divas Champion, and now tonight she makes her debut in NXT, and she's looking to add another title to that resume, the NXT Women's Championship. Once Lady James gets in the ring, she takes the mic and she says, "Silence. Please, silence. Royalty is speaking. Tonight is going to be a glorious night for myself and my husband, Sir Nicholas Magnus. Not only will my husband defeat that peasant Finn Balor, but tonight I earn my spot into the Fatal 4-Way match at TakeOver. And then we both go on to reign over this kingdom as its champions. And how fitting is it that our reigns both begin due to the demise of some Irish losers. I didn't plan this out, by the way. This is just purely how it happened. But Becky Lynch and Finn Balor are both Irish, and Lady James and Magnus, who are married in real life, are taking them on. I just thought I had to bring that up. So Mickie James kind of just running over the times, just pretty basic, saying that it's her time and now. But all of a sudden, Becky Lynch's music hits. Whoa! And out here she comes. She interrupts James. I don't know what the hell I was saying there, but she makes her way out to the entranceway, and she says, "Mickie, just shut up. We're all tired of hearing you. In fact, I'm going to shut you up myself." That was probably one of my worst Irish accents I've ever done, but, whatever. Becky's excited, so there's my excited Irish accent as she starts making her way down to the ring for said match. So we go on to our opening bout of the night, which gets a 40D-. That sucks. And it matches some good action. Not really, but not much weighing heat. Lady James defeating Becky Lynch with some underhanded tactics. I was hoping it would kind of get my drift because we look at the road agent notes here. I did tainted finish, flash pinfall, So what I would like to have seen is Mickie doing a roll-up, grabbing the tights, 1, 2, 3. Maybe having a match later on, but nope. No, we're not. This is the one and only match we'll ever see between Mickie James and Becky Lynch because They just don't click at all, nerds and geeks, and it showed in their performance. They don't have good chemistry together. So, out of curiosity, though, I would like to look at this stuff. Lady James engaging the crowd. Good job. A lot of bonuses for her, including Becky, too. Look at this. And Becky was engaging the crowd. So, if they had good chemistry, this might have been a good match. But, nope. That's a shame. Well, I was supposed to confirm the match there. Either way, we have a music video just promoting the debut of Richie Steamboat, stating that we will see the debut of Richie Steamboat at NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way, and then it is announced that it will be his opponent will be the Brian Kendrick. Can I take a breath real quick? So we now know at NXT Takeover Fatal 4-Way, or 4-Way, we have 2 more confirmed matches. As I meant to put this in prior, but I clicked it way too quick. We now know that Sasha Banks will defend her NXT Women's Championship against Bayley. Let's do Melissa Marie first. Melissa Marie, Bayley, and now Lady James. There we go. NXT Women's Championship. Save. And then we also know that we will see the debut, air quotations, we've already seen Richie Steamboat fight, but the television debut, or the, whatever, of Richie Steamboat battling the Brian Kendrick. So we have that match to look forward to as well. And then we go to a 28E. Ooh, this is an interesting NXT, nerds and geeks. So we have 28E here. Alexa Bliss in the ring alongside Blake and Murphy, and she says, "Last week we proved that we're the best team out here in the world of professional wrestling, or in NXT. I messed that up. But, best team out here. When we defended, or when we, excuse me, let me restart this. Last week, we proved that we are the best team out there when we defeated one of your so-called elite indie teams, and the ultimate cherry on top was that they were champions of some so-called company built off of honor." I didn't know this, by the way, nerds and geeks, but last week, Red Dragon, who fought Blake and Murphy for the NXT titles, they're the ROH Tag Team Champions. I didn't know that, so I thought it was interesting, which is kind of the reason why I've chosen my opponents tonight. Well, they learned the hard way that when it comes to the NXT Tag Team titles, that there is no honor. But does that matter to you guys? No. You still boo. You still say that we suck. So we say, send us another. Send us someone who will make an impact. So apparently the segment definitely brought the crowd's mood down. They are not into Blake Murphy and Alexa Bliss. The only one that has a good gimmick is Blake. So we then go on to our challengers, who get a 43D. Blake and Murphy in the ring waiting for their challengers. And out come the American Pitbulls, better known as the American Wolves, who wrestle for TNA Wrestling. And in the 2 universe right here, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards are the TNA Tag Team Champions. So originally I was thinking about going with the Briscoes here. Just, I don't know why. I just thought, why not? But then I was kind of like, maybe not the Briscoes. I don't really want to bury them that bad. Put Blake and Murphy over them. And since I found out that Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly were the ROH Tag Team Champions, I thought, let's get the TNA Tag Team Champions in here, shall we? I could see WWE taking a shot at TNA like this and ROH, but then again, I also don't see WWE ever hiring someone under TNA or ROH contract like that, so we'll see, though. So nothing really too special here, just Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards coming out saying that they'll accept the challenge. And I guess they got 71s and 79s on their ratings, but whatever. Also, we do have this challenge here. I just put them in there to kind of move it along. That's what I should have been doing with like Red Dragon and all the other people as well. So we move on from this. We go on to the match. NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. And yes, way better match than last week. Got a 55 C-, and a bout that had solid in-ring action but not much weight and heat. Blake and Murphy, of course, defeating the American Pitbulls in 7 minutes and 59 seconds when Murphy defeated Eddie Edwards with the drop. And they made defense number 7 of their NXT Tag Team titles. Alexa Bliss doing some good work ringside. And Davey Richards is improving in Rumble, but I don't care. More importantly, Murphy is improving in performance, so that's all I really care about. Also, Eddie Edwards, I would like to point this out, was pretty upset that we were having him lose. In fact, I think it said he was extremely furious, but this is your only match with me, so I don't care. You were literally brought in to put over the NXT Tag Team Champions. So let me, oh boy, Murphy did not get anything. Blake, though. Blake's like probably the star of this group, which in reality, he probably is the star in real life. So negatives. Blake still got a negative crowd reaction. Poor psychology. Murphy's with a negative crowd. Murphy's got a lot. But that's about it. It's 55 C-, so that's a pretty good match. I was not really expecting that. We then go on to just Magnus putting over his match against Finn Balor. Again, nothing really too special here. Just pretty much Magnus, I would imagine, just talking down on Finn Balor. And how earlier tonight, we saw my beautiful wife put away that Irish, I don't know, some term that's not too nice about Irish people that WWE would be willing to say. I don't know what you can say. But yeah, the Irish lass or something. And now she goes on to be in the NXT Women's Championship match. And tonight I take out another Irish man or whatever. And Finn Balor. Just really putting over the fact that they're Irish. Because I don't know if England and Ireland have a feud with each other. But tonight they do. So we then go to a 60C. The announcers put over the fact that later on tonight. Oh, excuse me. That is not right. So this is another confirmed match for NXT Takeover 4-Way. Originally I wanted William Regal announcing it, but I really didn't have enough time to do that. So instead, I just have the announcers putting over that. We just can confirm this now that at NXT Takeover, Hideo Itami will take on Tyler Breeze, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels in a 4-way match to battle over the number 1 contendership for the NXT Championship. So we now know that at NXT Takeover, we will see another 4-way between 4 of the top talents here in NXT. And whoever wins will face the winner of the NXT Battle, or not NXT Battle Royal, the NXT 4-way title match. All right. NXT number 1 contenders match. Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. Thank you. We then go on to, what's this? Kevin Owens, coming down for ringside as he's going to do color commentary for the next match. I mean, he's the NXT champion. Only makes sense. Also got us to 78B, so that's a cheap thing. We then go on to said match. The main event of the night gets us a 64C, and about that featured great action and average heat. Finn Balor defeating Sir Nicholas Magnus when Magnus was disqualified after Kevin Owens runs in and attacks Finn Balor. So, this is kind of like 2 storylines in one. So we know Kevin Owens and Finn Balor kind of have a feud with each other going on a little bit right now. Also, if you don't remember, last week or a couple weeks back, I think it was Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Yeah, it was a couple weeks back because we did Sami Zayn and Owens last week. Magnus was on commentary, and he, I think, distracted Owens or something, and it led to Balor beating Owens, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I just remember Magnus pretty much got involved in the match, and it pissed Owens off. So this kind of is like a double, whammy here. Owens gets, the beat up on Finn Balor, proving that he still doesn't like Balor at all, and he doesn't think he should be in this NXT Championship match, let alone with Magnus and Sami Zayn. But it's also a little bit of vengeance on Magnus. It's like, you're not getting a victory because you cost me my victory, or, cost me something. And then, excuse me. Road agent notes. Excuse me again. Also, Magnus was pretty pissed about this one, so I had to keep him strong. Fuck off, Magnus. Why you gotta be a dick like that? So, we got some star quality here. And we also protected Magnus because, also, you can see he got the bonus. See, that's what makes me have a hard time believing when people say they affect the match, because I look on the dirt sheet and it says Magnus got a bonus for being protected. That's have a hard time sometimes believing some things that you guys tell me. I won't lie. Oh, Magnus' stamina? Really? I gotta check out his stamina. I had no idea he had shitty stamina. And then we end off the night with an 84 B+ as Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and then just ignore this, and Sir Nicholas Magnus are just brawling in the ring. I'd imagine, Owens is beating down on Balor when Magnus kind of, pushes him and says, "The hell is your problem?" And then they start fighting each other, and then out comes Sami Zayn to join in the fun, and all four men are just battling each other before we have a bunch of people coming out and pulling each other out. Interestingly enough, though, out of all four of these men, Owens, Balor, and Sami Zayn, Magnus performed poorly. Is he just having an off night or something? Or what's happening here, man? Because I'm confused. I thought Magnus was like a star in the making, but all of a sudden I'm starting to have a little bit of doubts here. I don't know. I'll have to check him out after this. 70C for C+ for the show. None too bad, none too shabby. I'm not angry about that show. In fact, I'm very satisfied with the show. It went pretty much how I expected it to. I'm just a little surprised with Magnus there. Not gonna lie. Definitely caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting him to be the one performing poorly or having stamina issues. Also, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, what a shame, have left WWE after having a fantastic match with Blake and Murphy. In fact, that's their second best match. Fuck yes. TNA might have had the best match with Manic and Lashley. Actually, wrong. They're tied. Don't know why that's number one. Probably because there's a bigger audience. But mine's better. Let's look if it's Eddie Edwards. Oh, this is Eddie Edwards. I want to see if it's Davey Richards' best match order. Well, obviously it's not because that one is... Oh, man. Davey Richards has got a lot of good matches. That's his fourth best match. Or third, if you want to count that. Still, pretty cool. But, oh, I remember what I wanted to do. I got a little excited checking. Oh, look, Scott Steiner retired. What a shame. Ooh, NXT legitimately held a show. I'm curious. Colin Cassidy retaining that NXT championship. Baron Corbin beating Enzo. Poor Enzo. Okay. I'll look at that a little bit more off screen. I don't want to waste too much time right here. So we can finally go here because that was the whole thing I didn't want to spoil was that Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards was here. So they're gone. Rey Mysterio's gone from Lucha Underground. We got the same rating on Hulu, which was just a .25. Out of curiosity, I want to see who Rey Mysterio fought on Lucha Underground. Where's that at? Lucha Underground. Rey Mysterio battled Chavo. Come on, guys. You couldn't have done Rey Mysterio versus Prince Puma. No, you decided to do Prince Puma versus Masquerita fucking Sagrada. But Rey Mysterio versus Chavo? Stop. Can't believe that. That's a cheesy one. Excuse me. Let's look at some storylines before we end this episode off. So unfortunately with that SmackDown episode, a lot of our storylines were brought down to like average ratings. So that the only one that's really good is Jericho and Rollins, and I guess Owens that one, but that's technically not a battleground. I'm very upset with that. But for NXT, I should have put Becky Lynch in this. I don't know why I didn't. Stupid. Okay. For NXT, everything's looking pretty good. Oh, that's a match we forgot to confirm. Charlotte and Talia Sky. Let's go ahead and book that in before we end this episode off. So, pre-booking, there it is. It's already there. So let's go ahead and book it in. Talia Sky versus Charlotte. For the third time. Last match we can do. And other than that, that's going to end off this episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done already. And as always, Nerds and Geeks, my name's been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. And yeah, I'll see you guys for NXT Takeover 4-Way. So until then, have a great day.